Tonight at 9, even colder temperatures are heading our way. The steps you can take tonight to get ahead of it. And SNAP benefits are coming a little early this month in Louisiana. Why there's a warning to go along with it.
And nearly half of households in our country can't afford basic necessities. That's according to a recent report. Hear from one family on how they make ends meet.
Live, you're watching Fox 44 News First at 9, your local news leader.
Good evening, I'm Lauren McCoy.
And welcome in, everyone. I'm Chad Sabity. Thank you for joining us for Fox 44 News First at 9 o'clock. And we begin with breaking news. Up north, law enforcement officials in Shreveport have made several arrests. Officials have arrested 3 men in connection with last week's shooting death of Shreveport officer Shateri Payne. Trevin Anderson, Lawrence Pierre, and Glenn Frierson each face charges of second-degree murder. Officer Payne was shot to death last Wednesday night while she was getting ready to go into work. Officials will hold a news conference tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock with the very latest in this ongoing investigation. Back here locally, we continue to keep an eye on the forecast this roller coaster week. Weather-wise, we will see much colder temperatures by the end of next weekend.
Chief Meteorologist Jesse Gunkel joins us with what we can expect this weekend. Jesse.
Welcome back. Well, here's the deal. We've got a lot of obstacles as we move forward throughout the week. Again, we're going to be chilly tonight. The concern is more so towards this upcoming weekend. We're talking Sunday evening going into Monday because it's a first for us. We do have the possibility of a hard freeze. We're talking temperatures in the 20s, and that means for extended hours. We could be below that freezing mark for up to about 8 hours. So, yeah, it's going to get very chilly. Tonight, one of the hazards, chilly. Still down into the 30s for those overnight lows. As we move forward, also keep an eye on Saturday with the marathon in town, at least the 5K on Saturday. There is the potential that we could see a couple strong thunderstorms out there, maybe even getting to that severe category. Very mild out there with temperatures in the 70s, but then that next Arctic cold front quickly races in. And on the backside, that's where we have to be concerned about a hard freeze. So if you haven't done the necessary prep work quite yet, well, you've got a few days to do it. Just know that Sunday night is going to be the day. And by the time the kids head back to school early on Monday, we're going to be starting out with temperatures in the mid-20s out there. This is going to be the coldest stretch of weather we've had for the season so far. Back to you guys.
All right, Jesse, thank you. Well, like we mentioned, it's been a roller coaster for South Louisiana when it comes to temperatures. This week is no different, so it's time to be prepared, especially as we approach this weekend. When the temps fall below freezing, it's important to remember to protect your pipes, pets, and plants. You should cover any outside plant that could die in freezing temperatures. Make sure your furry friends have plenty of food and water and are inside away from the cold. And of course, cover any exposed pipes.
One of the things that we do suggest that you do is to run the water in your pipes. You don't have to run it wide open, but you don't want it to just be a tiny, tiny trickle. They also recommend that you open the cabinet doors of the sink. That way the warmth from your heater will get to the pipes that way.
With a cold front expected as we head into this weekend, our Storm Tracker team will keep an eye on everything and keep you updated on the air, on social media, and on our BR Proud app.
Help is coming ahead of schedule for Louisiana's food stamp recipients. Federal assistance meant for February next month will be available as early as tomorrow. But Fox 44's Capitol correspondent Harrison Golden explains that early release is tempered by concern as the federal shutdown lingers.
There are people who are trying to support their families, take care of their families, their kids.
Roughly 1 in 5 Louisianians use federally funded food stamps, including Jasmine Capers and her 2 kids.
They love salads and vegetables, and if you've ever been to the store, you know the healthier the food, the more it costs.
That dilemma drawn out as food stamp recipients question what the next few months will bring. For February, at least, the supplemental program is covered with help from a continuing resolution. And to unlock that aid, February benefits must go out early by January 20th.
Using their benefits wisely is advantageous to them.
Sammy Guillory with DCFS urges this early release of benefits is not extra aid and that recipients will not get any additional help in February.
These benefits will have to last for some of our recipients for nearly 2 months.
At least until March, depending on the shutdown. If it stretches through February, DCFS officials say it's still unclear what kind of benefits would go out.
We're fairly confident that we'll have something done by March, but at this point, our federal partners cannot give us answers.
In the meantime, Louisiana will still accept applications for the SNAP program.
At the end of the day, you have to take action.
Capers plans to beat the uncertainty with some help from family.
Me and my sister, we might have to, pool some resources. Hey, I cook, you help with the food. Anybody who knows me knows that the one thing I will not let anyone around me do is starve. If we have to figure out how to stretch it, we'll figure out how to stretch it.
Harrison Golden, Fox 44 News.
Harrison, thank you. Leaders at our state's family service agency say even if federal food stamp funds run dry, recipients can still use whatever benefits they have accrued over recent months.
People struggling to make ends meet are the focus of a recent report released by the United Way. The Alice report takes aim at offering assistance to those who fall below the poverty line. Fox 44's Crystal Whitman has the story.
Do you know Alice? Alice represents a large group like Jasmine Thompson who are scrambling to afford basic necessities.
Child care, it's ridiculous. I was looking into a 24-hour daycare. I mean, the prices are just, they're high.
Thompson is a single mom who says she doesn't have to worry as much about milk, diapers, and childcare now thanks to resources in the community. The 2018 Alice report takes a look at poverty across Louisiana. Katie Pritchard with the Capital Area United Way works with programs like the YMCA and Catholic Charities to help everyday families in need.
Alice is that family that's working multiple jobs, paycheck to paycheck, but still struggling to make ends meet.
And for people like Jasmine, the Alice report is there to help families get back on their feet.
I can drop my daughter off at school and I don't have to worry about the milk, diapers, wipes, and I can just go about my day.
Crystal Whitman, Fox 44 News.
The report doesn't aim to find a simple solution to the challenges those individuals face each day. It serves as a tool to help confront those growing problems and concerns right here at home.
New information starting tomorrow. Cats will begin making stops at the new Ochsner Medical Facility. The new center officially opened today, and the stop for it will be on Route 60. The route loops between Our Lady of the Lake Regional Medical Center, the Baton Rouge General Bluebonnet Campus, the Mall of Louisiana, and the new Women's Hospital. The route will operate on its normal daily hours. Authorities responded to a shooting that occurred in the 12,000 block of Brookshire today. Details are still limited at this time, but we are told that a coroner's official was called out to the scene. We will bring you additional updates as they become available both on air and via our website, brproud.com. Meanwhile, Ascension Parish Sheriff's deputies have arrested a suspect who they believe is responsible for the shooting that occurred in Geismar last week. Authorities arrested this man, 20-year-old Neptune Hatfield Jr., earlier today. He's currently facing several charges, including attempted second-degree murder. Hatfield Jr. was booked into the Ascension Parish Jail. No bond has been set.
U.S. Senator Bill Cassidy says he's come up with a solution to the shutdown, a way to fund the president's border wall, which doesn't even require House Democrats to sign off on it. Political reporter Fred Childers talked with Senator Cassidy about his plan and how it was received by President Trump.
Well, according to Senator Cassidy, President Trump was very receptive to his idea during a personal phone call just a few days ago. His idea on how to secure funding for the wall is essentially an end run around Congress. Now, President Trump has asked Congress for $5 billion to build a southern border wall, but Democrats have refused to include that in a spending bill. The result? A partial government shutdown. Cassidy's plan, if accepted by the president, would essentially end the shutdown without either side really having to admit defeat. Senator Cassidy told President Trump he wants to increase law enforcement efforts at the border and use the extra $4 to $5 billion seized from the Mexican drug cartels to pay for the wall. Now, that would not have to be approved by Congress.
The nice thing about this is that Congress does not appropriate money in the asset forfeiture fund. It is rather money the executive branch controls by itself. And so we could use this money without congressional approval. And so there's a way forward, even if Ms. Pelosi decides that she is not as interested in securing the southern border.
Now, Cassidy says President Trump still wants congressional approval, but he's very open to the idea. Now, the longer this shutdown continues and employees go without pay, the more appealing these alternate plans will look. For your local election headquarters, I'm Fred Childers.
Cassidy says even though congressional approval is not needed for funding the wall, it would be needed for parts of the plan, which includes some compromises with Democrats in the House.
President Trump's nominee to lead the Department of Justice faced some tough questions today from U.S. senators on Capitol Hill. It's been 26 years since William Barr last ran the Department of Justice, and Republican Tennessee Senator Marsha Blackburn says if he's confirmed again, he'll face problems that did not exist back then. Republican Senator John Kennedy of Louisiana had his chance to question Barr today, focusing on special counsel Robert Mueller's investigation into Russian meddling in the 2016 presidential election.
Did President Trump instruct or ask you, once you become Attorney General, to fire Mr. Mueller?
Absolutely not.
Meanwhile, Democratic senators say they worry about the prospect of Barr overseeing the Russian investigation. Coming up, remembering Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. with a brand new exhibit which opened tonight here in Baton Rouge. We'll take you there.
And carnival season may be here, but festival season isn't too far away either. Details on this year's Jazz Fest lineup down in New Orleans when Fox 44 News at 9 continues.